It is open, my friends, while toils have yet to begin. Laughter we had in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Hello. You've either made it to the end of the story or you just saw that there's a Q&A and so you figured, maybe I can skip all the story and just find out what these crazy people are up to. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is wrapping up after we've finished up Bloodheim. So we can make up... Well, right, Bloodheim 2, the campaign 2. It's called The Wilds. It's the second thing with the Bloodheim group. I can think clearly today.
I can think clearly now.
It's the Bloodheim group able to... campaign 2.
Well, maybe you did come here from Bloodheim.
That's possible.
Maybe.
Straight from Bloodheim. That would be interesting.
Did the algorithm just smack you around a little bit? Are you discombobulated right now? Hey, don't worry. This is Donnie, and you just got a little bit lost. We're going to guide you right back here and just, yep, there you go. Reinsert you back into the Matrix. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
Did you get
Have you been
by an
sent?
algorithm? Did you get misguided by the logic of a electrical system? Call 987-777-7766, and you will reach your lawyer.
Maybe, just maybe, if it's a weird interaction, you'll enjoy it and decide to stick around. By the way, there's lots of RPG campaigns here on this channel that you can watch. We play some of them.
It's true.
Why do I feel like you're about to sell me some car insurance?
I'm in all of them.
I'm not at all going to sell you car insurance. I mean,
not you, him.
We have been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Anyway, so The Wilds.
Yeah.
Which is the campaign I ran for what we call the Bloodheim group.
Yeah.
In a world I started building for the campaign. It definitely shifted from what I originally thought it was, but it was a lot of fun. And I now have a world that I want to keep building in. So what all did you have favorite parts? And honestly, if we have questions for each other that we think of, I'm fine delving into them, but we should start with what was your favorite part of playing and or favorite scene?
My particular favorite part is when the party realized that the wizard was in trouble, and it is immediately like, all right, we're gonna go murder some dudes. By the nearest tree.
My wizard!
Yep. By the way, late timing, but spoilers.
Oh, yeah, spoilers.
Yeah, obviously.
Look,
congratulations. There's a warning somewhere in the video.
Hey, if you made it all the way to the Q&A and you didn't expect spoilers, what is wrong with you? Come on. It's the post-campaign Q&A.
Yeah, the algorithm.
We're gonna spoil some shit. We're at least 3 minutes in. Come on.
Yep. Yeah, no, I thought it was. I appreciated very much the entire party just going scorched earth in that moment.
Yes.
Because Pale Pip learned his lesson. Thank you, people.
Die.
I think everyone should have learned their lesson to listen to the raccoon.
We try to not listen to the token evil party member. Come on.
How many times after that?
Yeah, after that,
How many times after that did Casimir ask, hey, do you feel like eating this guy?
If he didn't, we trusted them.
Exactly.
It struck me as hilarious that the one that I actually did have as a bad guy, when he was there, y'all chose to trust. So it's like, oh, this is going to feel like, it was like the perfect betrayal. It's like...
This guy never trusted him. Not a single bit.
Well, yes.
He's constantly questioning him, constantly doing insight checks on him, constantly getting gaslighted by the GM on those inside checks, even though I got some real good ones.
Very good deception rolls.
Did not.
Sure.
Did not make it.
Cool.
that may have informed my decision to, oh yeah, he's totally trustworthy. None of these insight checks have done anything. This guy is just some poor hapless sod. No, he fucking wasn't.
It wasn't at all.
Fucking was it? Yeah.
I mean, good old
Well,
Woodcock.
Clyde was none the wiser, and she didn't care. She was just like, yeah, sure.
Remember, his
that's
name
fine.
is Tree Dick now.
It's Woodcock. It's always
Mhm.
Woodcock.
Woodcock.
Okay.
Tree dyke.
I'm not even.
Woodcock.
I honestly can't even remember his real name. It will
Can
forever
anyone
be
remember his real
canonized.
name?
Woodcock.
Wait, is Woodcock not his canon name?
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
Okay, I was calling him Tree Dick just because I thought Woodcock was his real name. But the fact that we
Talk,
just
talk about gaslighting the party.
yeah.
They don't even know the name.
Yes.
What? Does anyone remember his name?
No.
What's his name?
It's Woodrick.
Woodrick?
Woodrick. That's right.
Did you look at your notes? Do you have notes?
No.
Did you look at your notes?
I do have notes, but
should
no, I
look
did
at my
not look
notes.
at them. I actually did legitimately remember that.
Yay!
I need to write down names because that is one of the things I am terrible at. I am terrible at names in real life and in just general. So I need to
I-
write down NPC names more.
Did
I
write
normally am
down
too.
names, but I always wrote down the wrong name.
Shit.
Me too. I wrote down
Somewhat-
what Clyde would remember.
Yes.
I've been answering phones for
100%.
the last month, so I completely fucking get it. I write down the wrong fucking name. It's like, oh yeah, my name is Rick
Hi,
Johnson.
my
All
name
right,
is
Kendrick.
My
My
name
name is-
Jabe.
No, I purposefully wrote down the wrong name so that in later sessions I would not remember the correct one because character wouldn't bother to. He gave them all nicknames like Woodcock. Like never wrote down Woodrick. Not even once.
No door.
No door.
That was
Male
that was
is
his name.
irrelevant. or
That one was
irreverent
the
enough.
only
Yeah, but
one.
we said no door.
Yep.
So old. No door.
So old.
So old.
No door. So old and no door were the actual names. But, meh.
Turn left. What is it? What's the? Is it Elder Scrolls? Elden Ring that has the very cryptic messages you can leave. It's like 2 words.
That sounds
Oh,
like
yeah,
Elden
yeah.
Ring more.
Safeway.
No door.
Gosh,
Why
that was a good
why isn't
moment.
there a door?
I enjoyed that one.
Huh?
Yeah.
The whole
Safeway.
save,
wizard.
sorry, save the wizard moment. I think my favorite one was Sadamir. It was the Sadamir.
Sadam-
moment.
Yes.
Emo
Just-
Casimir.
Trying his hardest to go outside and have this big ol' edgelord sad boy
Edgelord.
moment, and
Yep.
absolutely not letting
Nobody's
it happen.
letting him happen.
Not,
Nope.
not standing for it.
There's just a little sprite over there just patting him on the shoulder. It's like, it'll be okay.
It'll be
okay."
fine. You're gonna be
It's gonna be fine.
okay.
It'll be fine. It's fine.
Sitting out in the rain.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yep, and Michael's drawing captured that just perfectly. It was so perfect. I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
So sad.
Look, I don't play edgelord characters that often, so this was at least I don't think I do. So I was trying to play him and learning as a result.
I enjoyed being able to play an irreverent character who didn't have to have a ton of plot weighing on their shoulder. Like, Velpip's backstory is still very bog simple. What you see is what you get. He's got like one mystery to get around, and that's basically it.
Well, you so far from what I've seen, you're really good at taking characters that have a dead simple background, but turning them into characters that we care about.
The lethal
'Cause-
joke character becomes the character whose death scene is like,
No.
Except for Carl.
Well, I mean,
We didn't
because
like Carl.
Donnie had a very simple backstory too, deliberately so, and yet he was integral to the party.
yeah. Donnie turned into being way more.
Donnie didn't have a backstory that he remembered.
I intended Donnie to be very flexible, so he was intended to evolve as time went on, but he evolved in a completely different way that I completely didn't expect. Veilpip is still very much Veilpip, although he is no longer going to trust every motherfucker who comes along. That lesson has been learned.
That's what we
Really
call
good plan.
character growth.
We keep saying character growth.
Character
And then you
growth.
met Norik, who is the absolutely trustworthy character.
Veilpip
Yeah.
can't have too much character growth yet because, he's the comic relief character. If he starts having character growth, then we might, have some Cerberus.
He's already
There's
had a
some-
lot of character growth. There are many moments.
Oh, he has, but he's still a happy-go-lucky tomfoolery clown who still needs to learn the common tongue and probably go home to his parents and, have a discussion about, all of the shit that's gone on.
I think the character with the least
Yeah.
amount of character growth was Catastrophe. Just
Probably.
consistent the
She
entire
needed
way through.
none.
She didn't need
Yeah,
any. She was
Zelda-
perfect the
Zelda
way she
was-
was.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
She probably could have grown a little bit. It's just the people that were around her weren't probably going to give that to her. Like the only thing
Weren't
that was
encouraging growth.
that was at the end when you were finally asking her a little bit more questions about her. And you're like, "You want to go back? You want to go back to visit your aunts?" And she's like, "No, no, I don't." So I mean that has some potential for character growth if that ever happens. But
Carl will definitely have to lean into that because he also doesn't want to return to the Feywilds to see his relatives. So
I don't want to.
I think
back.
Clyde is responsible
talking
for
about?
one of my favorite moments, which was simply
Yeah.
yes, the chameleon,
Yeah, the
claw in
chameleon
the
hands.
hand.
yes.
I laughed so stupidly hard over your stumble handwriting.
I will never forget that moment.
Nope.
I'll never
So
look at
perfect.
chameleons the same ever again.
That's if you do any other clips of it, you have to clip just her being, chameleon hands in the background, being nonchalant about it.
I think what was so good is you got the little shake in while you were
Yes.
doing the gesture that was that's so distinctive of how chameleons move.
The physical acting is absolutely on point because there's that weird way that chameleons move that just I can't do it right.
Yeah.
Just so shaky.
It's fun.
It's like they're over caffeinated. They're about to. I mean, I had.
That reminds
but I
me, it was fun seeing the. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I had none.
It was fun seeing physical acting in interaction, or if people dressed up or wore costumes. That was always fun.
Yes, way too
the
damn-
wig flapping.
Oh goodness. Yeah, you played 2 characters, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
You didn't...
By the end, you can tell that was getting a little tiring because I just kept talking through Veilpip. So at some point, we're just gonna have to get the excuse of teaching Veilpip English because I do enjoy Carl, but I don't know. Sometimes Carl is a lot because I don't know how to tone back Carl to not be such a sassy asshole when he doesn't necessarily need to be such a sassy
Sasshole.
asshole. Yes.
Sasshole. Yes.
He's an absolute sasshole, which, I mean, part of that is just going to be his character, but with Veilpip in particular, he tends to be a little mean-spirited at times, which was funny, but also not quite what I intended.
All right. What was your favorite moment?
Oh, that was so many. Okay. I did really like the chameleon bit. That was really fun. I was looking. Oh, whenever we had our little fireside talk, when you were doing Animal Messenger with Ed, and you brought in the bunny.
The dinner.
And you were asking her to kill it, for Clyde to kill it. And I was just like, no.
God, the way you
I did not
used
think that
Animal
one through.
Messenger. God.
Yeah, that was.
The first uses of Animal Messenger were normal, but then you decided to use it to trick dinner into coming.
It just dawned on me. I was like, this is a real animal. If we kill this thing, it's
Yeah.
not going to poof away.
We can eat it.
Oh my gosh, this is food. This is free food. And it's a ritual spell. We can do this every 10 minutes. Free bunny.
Free
Yeah, if
bunny.
there's ever a game where you need to worry about supplies, yeah, make sure you have
Take
that.
that spell.
I mean,
Yep.
we really could have been way more evil with the animals because Veilpip can just talk to any woodland creature. So thankfully, his morality keeps him from doing horrible shit. But he could just be like, "Hey, Squirrel Man, can you take this Can you take this pouch of blasting powder up there into the top of that tent up there? And we're gonna leave out the part that in 5 minutes it's gonna blow up. But you know, you come back, here, and I got some nuts for you."
Do you remember the
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with Animal Messenger.
Yes.
ear torture?
I need you to squeak.
Squeak.
It was fun playing Leon. Like,
Yeah.
I actually met up with him again after a few days of that.
Such a nervous wreck. You did such a good
God.
job portraying that too. I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I need to see this. We have to see Leon, just because I want
Yes.
to see how Michael portrays him now that he's been tortured in this way for a while. That was brilliant. No, I loved that bunny moment, mainly because it did not dawn on me. Clyde is a vegetarian. Clyde is kind of peaceful to animals. So, kill it.
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
right.
that-
Yeah, she's probably not gonna.
Probably not gonna do that.
You'd be all sad.
Veilpip being an
Sad.
gnome and able to talk to woodland animals is also like, oh, right, shit, that's a
Wait a minute.
Hmm.
On the other side, protein is protein.
So
Unless you're waitlister, then
What-
it's
what?
protein.
Before you answer that,
the
no,
weightlift.
before you ask this next question, Michael, you have to answer the question too. What was your favorite
What?
moment?
Oh,
Yeah, no?
I'm the DM. I get to ask questions.
I'm the producer.
No.
Deal with it.
Okay. Ooh. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to go back through. I really liked Norrit's whole episode of appearance. I had no idea he was going to be. That was like one of those things of like the character zooping together perfectly through the role play, and I loved him, and it was so fun.
Wish I hadn't been so sick that night because Veilpip and him should have had a much better rapport. But that was the night I was recovering from the flu, so I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, you were sick as a dog.
Yeah, which is a shame because him and Veilpip would, like, their personalities mesh very well in terms of their irreverent disregard to basically just normal things. Like, hey, let's
He's
just
not normal.
let's just put shit together that probably shouldn't be put together.
It's fun.
No, you
You
did
think
a great
about it,
job
and it does
putting
nothing.
Norrit together. Was he an improv character, or did you kind of plan him out a little bit?
If I remember correctly, so he wasn't complete. I knew that a character with that name existed, and he was viewed as kind of like the crazy guy. That's about what
Nice.
I knew.
Nice.
And
He's
then,
It's a crazy one. Of course, the fox are going to attach to him.
yeah, and then I don't remember thinking any more clearly about it. You know, the rest was improv, and it was like, I want him to be a good guy, and then it was just poor. Well, yeah, no, I was just trying to make stuff that sounded like weirdly off the wall, but maybe he's actually onto something. But then it kind of just turned into me getting to play like an optimistic, curious person. And like bring up all the stuff and be like, oh, hey, think about this. And I, call out little moments if I see them. It's like, hey, I have a character to say these things now.
Okay, now you can ask your question.
The question was, so I feel like the story was relatively straightforward. It wasn't like, there weren't massive twists and turns or anything. Were there any parts that y'all were like really surprised at, or a part of the story that stood out as a really cool thing, or like that just stood out as story-wise.
Yeah, when the dude
As
freaking
interesting.
betrayed us and tried to steal Veil Pip. That
Yeah,
was a
that
surprise.
Was a bit of a
Somebody tried
Hans
to
moment.
shank.
To
Somebody
you
tried to
three,
shank the
maybe.
fucking wizard.
I don't know. Clyde was going along with Ed just because, but I didn't realize that he was actually gonna be bad. Did seem a little bit like, let's go kiss Hans.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is just what happens when Veil Pip tries to do a good deed.
Yep.
He gets punished.
Oh no.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Can't have that. So the funny thing was because we were starting to wrap up, I knew that I probably wanted he would have to betray you guys at some point.
Right.
And then the question of taking him back came up. And then that started gears turning. Like, oh, that would be a fun little time to do it. It's the perfect time, if you're back at that, split the party. But I was trying to not push it. And then there was a moment where you all were like, you know what? He could probably just come with us. I'm like, okay, rewriting again. It's like, no, we'll take, okay. I was like, I was going to run with either one, but it was actually really interesting just because, it's like, oh, what are they going to do? I don't know. I can use this. I can use that.
And then Veil Pip decided to do a good fucking deed and immediately got punished for it.
For it. No.
Poor Veil.
Poor Veil Pip.
I mean, look, he survived. He didn't get damaged, and Carl actually got the worst out of it. But he's all right with that. Carl's an ass.
He deserved it.
Although you notice Carl was
deserved it.
legitimately worried.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. That's the thing is, I think deep down underneath his assholeness, I think Carl genuinely cares.
He
Deep in his
genuinely
ass.
does. It's
Deep
just,
in it. Deep in it.
It's deep, but, it's kind of...
Just imagine this. Like, you go from being a Ivy League programmer's, pet bird, and he decides to drop out of college because he has a bad drug trip and become homeless and just wanders around the streets trying to entertain at children's parties by, pulling balloon animals out of hats to, make ends meet. You might be a little bit fucking angry when you are contractually obligated to be within 15 yards of this bastard at all times.
Yep.
Mhm.
No, I totally see it.
I think my favorite
So,
part was
Carl's
the Dwarven
opinions
City.
Yeah.
again.
That's why he wasn't intended to be that, jackass. It just kind of flowed that way. Flew that way.
Kind of
I think my favorite part was the Dwarven City. In regards to that,
that was
Yes.
like
that was pretty good too.
that. I just expected another city under the ground, like Lord of the Rings Dwarven City, because I know how much of a Lord of the Rings fan you are. And then just details like that. But then you started going into the rock formations, the glowing rocks, the rocks kind of being their form of diet. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm falling in love with this city. I might like dwarves now.
Aw, yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
I
also
think that was my
knew-
favorite
I was
introduction of all time.
Aw, cool.
I knew about the dwarves eating rocks things from the get-go because my character being involved in the dwarves, he let that slip and I completely had forgot about it until we got to the Dwarven City and he's like, oh yeah, that's right. These guys actually eat the stones.
That's right.
So it was originally, you helped influence it a little bit because originally my plan was that they would eat coal. I forget why I picked coal, but it's like, let's make a fun twist on dwarves.
Coal
Yeah.
And
does
then
have
you
calories.
mentioned yeah, and then you mentioned I think you also said but then what do they burn in the fires? So you raised a couple questions okay. So I revised it to just be other ore they found. I just had a conversation the other day involving the rock type, but now I forget it.
Rock.
Yeah, you said some name
Rock.
for it.
Rock.
Sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic.
Crap.
No, it wasn't one of those. It was like a specific rock type.
It was a specific
Or,
rock type. I...
Just gneiss. Marble.
You
no,
were telling
I feel like it started with
Babs
an
about
F.
it the other day.
Yeah. She mentioned that rock, and now it's out of my head. And it was because
Is it
she
from
mentioned it that I was
Discworld?
able.
Fluorite.
What? Oh, it's not fluorite, but I think it starts with an F. Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway.
but yes, it got changed a little bit through your interaction, right, Tack?
Yeah, honestly, the buff wizard thing was just something I wanted to do more as a joke because, tiny little gnome wizard, big buff muscles was just too funny not to do.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it works
Yeah.
though.
It's already funny when it's an old wizard to begin with, but when it's a little tiny gnome, it just becomes extra funny. And sending him to dwarf school was the best way to do that. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's funny though. That's the reason. Because that's a fun thing. Is like a lot of these details seem to make perfect sense, or it's like okay, that's the backstory, but then you find out why or how that came about. It's like oh yeah, that was to be the actual build-up we needed for the joke that I wanted.
Uh-huh.
I think that type of thing is fun.
I love putting a good gimmick inside every character.
What
Gimmicks
was
are my
Edwards?
favorite. Edwards? Edwards
Yeah.
gimmick?
And
100% this.
Yep.
Word. Warp. Warp. 100% that. I love tormenting people with that image. And it just kind of dawned, and I was like, I need to make a character for this. How are we going to do this? Let's do Ed, and let's do Ward. And then put their name together and not tell people it's separate names.
I mean, you had us going for quite a while.
Yeah.
like
How
I
do
said,
you-
I still expected it to be far more horrifying. So I'm glad that it didn't involve the family pet and somebody's daughter getting fusion danced into existence.
Not just a parasite wrapped around his spine.
Mm-hmm.
No,
That was
nothing
inserting
major.
his body into you every single time he healed you. Nothing too serious.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely. I'm gonna need to take penicillin for that.
You breathed him in multiple times. Think about that. All of you
Is
had Ward in
penicillin.
you at some point.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
yeah,
about
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
That's uncomfy.
Oh.
that.
But it's a little different. He's like
Uncomfy.
a little microbe. He's more like a bug or a
He's like
a germ.
helpful asbestos.
Yes, exactly.
And sentient.
Sentient.
Just a little
Sentient,
bit.
healthy.
Just a little bit of mesothelioma.
Is each part of him sentient, or is it like a single gut? Like how does his amorphous self exist?
I genuinely didn't bother writing any of that or developing anything.
Fair. I just thought of it. I was like,
yeah,
wait a
it's-
second.
Because I thought about everything to like how was he created, where did he originally come from, like what's his originality, and I just decided, you know what? Nah, he's millennia old. Who cares?
Yeah.
We're not going to answer any of that.
Right.
There was
We
no
don't-
reason-
we don't
There
need
really
answers
wasn't
for it.
any reason to because the character worked incredibly well.
You basically just did the Attack on Titan thing where, like, hey, we just ran into a fucking thing in the woods and it did some shit. Just go with it.
It's here. It exists. Let's move on.
This is a thing. We don't know.
This is a specific item that you have to suspend disbelief on.
I'm not even sure it's a suspend disbelief as much as just a you don't know the answer right now. Will you?
Basically.
I don't know, but
I enjoyed the moment we got to the point where Casimir was like, "Oh, you wouldn't know their name. Oh, just try." Tells me the name.
Oh, just try.
Oh, I know them in a while.
That was pretty funny. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Hey. Hey.
the counter edgelord.
Well, Pip's seen some shit, but he ain't seen that.
I might have been on a world they destroyed once. I can't fully remember.
So
you
that
probably have
actually
been.
You wouldn't.
Have we
can
met
be a
before, Casimir?
segue. Is there anything that like you had questions about at the end, where it's like the if there was a next season, it's like, oh, I hope they address X, whether it's about other characters or about world. You're like, oh, I dearly love to go see elves, Mr. Frodo. Is there something that you heard another character say or mentioned about the planet that you're like, oh, that sounded interesting?
Yeah.
I want to
About
visit
the
the
planet
Sapphire
specifically?
Thorns of Gilithin.
Clyde's whole backstory.
Casimir's backstory.
We've done that.
It was still vague as fuck.
It's
I
fucking
was like,
vague.
who's her? And why were there bonds? And was it kinky?
I like how everyone immediately
Extremely.
knew he was a warlock, though.
Yeah, nobody even.
Yeah, he's
bothered
like,
to-
I'm
nobody
not
even
a
questioned.
warlock. You're a warlock.
You're a warlock.
You're definitely a warlock.
I'm just a source on a Eldritch Blast.
It'll just pass.
or
Can't.
bard?
Remember the time he almost killed a child on purpose?
Right?
No. Casimir didn't do it on purpose. I did it on purpose.
Yes.
Which does not make it any better.
Yeah.
Do like how you handled that, especially
Yeah, that
considering
was-
we had a similar situation in another campaign where we ended up in fucking jail getting questioned because our party member decided to burn somebody in the fucking street. Thanks for derailing us. What the hell?
Look, I was just trying
no, not
to
you, not you.
set
That
up.
was-
Yeah, I know.
I
I
still
forgot
find it
about the
funny.
Sapphire Thorns. That was a thing I mentioned, wasn't it?
It was the thing
I
you
mentioned
mentioned,
it.
yes. And I thought it was
Yep,
going to
and
be
now I
very
need-
important, so I wrote it down.
Perfect. It could have been very important. That's the fun
could-
thing of
it's
how I
true.
was doing.
could have been.
It's like there easily could have been, but now I need to add
Turns
it
out.
to my notes. I have it. I think I remembered having it in my notes somewhere, but I forgot it, so I need to add it to the new one.
Turns out it's a world building element.
You gotta build the world somehow.
And then you keep building it, and then this other thing happens, and you're like, oh, that leads to this and that.
Hey, you chunky monkey, would you stop trying to roll off the table?
So, no, I gotta save that question. We're still on the question of things that we want to visit still. The backstory of Clyde. But I need to know. I need to know. I have to know it. Clyde's whole backstory.
What?
We got basically
whole-
nothing on it. Like, just you were to talk about vague, talk about skirting the edge of the story.
Yeah.
Clyde skirted
Descriptions.
it. The edge of the story. We got the very surface of the cloud. We saw the cloud as a whole. We never got into it. The deepest we got in was at the very end of the campaign. I need to know.
She thought you were
more
trying to do that in that
details.
session, that we were going to go
I
resolve
was
that.
like,
She's like,
No.
Are we going to go do that? I'm like, no.
That's not
next
gonna
session.
be.
That's setup. That's setup.
We got more out of Veil Pip's backstory than we did of hers.
It did.
Well, that's because he had a narrator who was mad at him about it, and so he would spout it.
Yes, that is exactly why. But that being said, Carl is not a reliable narrator.
Ah.
Also,
No,
also
of course
fair.
not.
Wait, we trusted
Of
Carl? When
course
does that
not.
happen?
Yeah, I think in levels of backstory, we got. I don't know. Who do we agree on who got more, Casimir or Ward? Because both of them had quite a bit of their backstory that we were
Carl.
able to cover.
We got the most
No,
backstory
Carl.
of Carl.
Ah!
Oh, yeah,
Hands down, it's Carl.
Yep, 100%.
True, but
We
Carl
know
doesn't
everything
have
about
a very,
him.
It's
Carl's backstory is
it's
not very
Carl.
interesting.
Veil Pip, then a debate between Casimir and Ward.
No, Veil Pip doesn't have that much to his backstory though.
Yeah, which is why we got the most of his backstory, because we got his backstory.
And
Story.
Percentage of backstory.
Backstory wise,
no, I'm
100%.
talking about
He's up there
amount
at the
of-
top.
I'm talking about amount of backstory, not percentage of backstory.
Okay, then you're talking about how
Oh.
much did the creator of these characters actually put into the character.
Hey, Veil Pip
That's a
has
very
some
different
there.
question.
We just didn't touch it all. Same thing with Clyde.
Sure.
Yeah, how many pages was Clyde's document? I know you write long documents.
no,
with
no,
backstory.
no. But for Clyde, I did not.
Okay.
Clyde's was maybe 2.
Okay.
Galpips wasn't that long, but I don't remember how long it was actually.
Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up mine too. I was like, I know
How
I actually
many
wrote some
pages?
pages to this.
Really, the big point of mystery is Veil Pip's incident in college, and that'll come out eventually.
The noodle incident.
The noodle incident, yes.
Edward's backstory.
The
Yeah, 2
reason why
pages.
Veil Pip decided to drop out of college and become a stand-up comedian instead of a... I've always envisioned... Well, okay, for this world, I've always treated a wizard kind of like a programmer.
I
So,
can see that.
You know,
Yeah.
Veil Pip didn't want to become a wizard because he didn't want to spend all day in a wizard tower writing spells.
Oh.
All
So-
I'm gonna do is research. I don't want to do research.
I want to teach.
You know what
I
to
would
say.
say
When you
Cas-
can't, you teach.
Yeah.
No, he
Casimir's backstory is
specifically
between.
wanted to make
sorry.
people laugh.
Yeah, Casimir's backstory
Casimir's
is
back.
between 2 and 3 pages.
Okay.
Somewhere between 2 and
Let's
3
see.
pages. It's
That's-
it is information dense, but it's not not super long.
Okay. Just one of the lines from my just one of the lines from my backstory is she likes rocks.
She likes rocks. Yep.
That worked.
She likes rocks, guys. She likes rocks.
Well, in
Veil
the
Pip-
first description, it's like, here's this at the fair, here's this at the fair, here's this at the fair. I want to go to the rocks.
Yeah.
Veil Pip, Veil Pip's character bio is 2 pages, but it's basically 3 lines onto the second page. So he's just shy of being a 1-page biography.
So you're the shortest. So it's definitely
Yeah.
Veil
And
Pip
the
at the top of that
shortest.
list.
Yeah.
With Clyde at the
quite
bottom
I
of
was
the
gonna
list.
I was gonna say, would it be too? What do we want to go through and read our backstories? They're not
No.
that long, or is that too boring?
I'm too lazy.
Well-
Oh, fair
Oh, I thought it was like you wanted stuff to be revealed in later seasons if need be. Like, Clyde,
yeah, if we ever do
It's, like, touched on.
thingy. Yeah, I
I'm-
mean, to be
I'm
fair,
happy- I'm happy
I did
doing it
hit
either
like
way.
every point of
I
her
thought you did
backstory
too.
that
I was like, he's like,
have.
you're skirting the edges. I'm like, that all sounded like there were.
But it
the
was
stuff she said.
literally at the very end that I did.
I could have sworn
But
you
it was all
mentioned
mentioned.
Yeah, I could have sworn you mentioned what your aunts were and did earlier. But
I
I,
did.
mean, I also know the details.
I did.
Not
Okay.
the connection between them.
Not-
It's like
yeah.
the points were there, but the connection for it all was just not there at all.
Mhm.
There was never any connections.
Yeah. And she really wouldn't. Like, they're like, oh, it doesn't need to be about that. Like, I left that, but it's fine.
Well, that was
I'm
great.
all good now.
The diversion was wonderful the whole way through. Just constantly diverting. Like, bring up the backstory,
Hi.
mention a little piece of it, but hey, what about this instead? Everyone gets distracted. We don't.
You guys, we are the orange cats.
it is true.
I feel like Four Orange Cats is more of
For
the
orange
table
cats.
name than the group name, just because of the way we
It's a
act.
group name.
Oh no. Maybe, yeah.
It's in my encyclopedia of the world. It is listed as the group name.
We are the top.
The group transcends dimensions now.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
one of my favorite parts of this whole thing is how it went from being the 4th wall to the 4th curtain to the 4th trampoline.
Yep. Yep.
Let's
To
see.
its some-
The
to
Four
its
Orange
some-
Cats were a small party brought together by circumstance on Balan during the month of Tircis in the year 4707 of the Cassian calendar. They gathered the 5 whispering children of the Sundering Stone and took them to Nargothoz.
The main reason why I consider that more of a table name than a party name is there wasn't actually a reason in universe for us to ever call ourselves the Four Orange Cats, other than the fact that we couldn't stay on the fucking point.
I mean, yeah, that was about right.
We had a whole
Which was
moment
an
of the
accurate
characters
descriptor.
having that conversation.
Yeah, and it makes it just about as much sense as the Mighty Nine. So,
True.
Mhm.
With all
Yeah,
seven
Mighty
of them.
9.
Mighty Nose?
No, 9.
Mighty
Nine.
Nine, yeah.
9.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
Mighty
yes.
Nose.
9.
Well, so it's a singular no is 9. So the mighty no.
The mighty no.
The mighty
Mighty
no.
You know, I never gave Veil Pip's mom a name. I gave his dad a name. Never gave his mom a name.
Mama.
I would have just like
What is
named
your
them on the spot.
name?
Nobody has names in my backstory either.
The-
like I
the
went
on-
all out for Bella, but everybody was named.
the
I got nothing
only,
for Clyde.
The only reason why Veil Pip's father has a name is because it's Hail Bip and it rhymes with Hail Bop.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Hail Bip Hammersposh, the proprietor of the handy Hammersposh's handy haversack.
Nice.
Say that 5 times fast.
Right?
Handy hammers? Handy hamishes, did you say?
Hammersposh's
Say it
handy
one time
haversack.
fast.
Hammersposh's handy hammersack. Hammersposh's handy hammersack. Hammersposh's handy hammersack. Hammersposh's handy hammersack. Hammersposh's handy hammersack.
Haversack.
Hammersack.
Do you have any
Hammersack, not
questions?
haversack. Okay.
Do you have questions for each other about like play styles or like how you process, or just that could be asked about characters like in game rather, not what's your backstory, but like how did you decide that moment or something?
Oh, what was your core focus whenever you had to get into focus of being in character?
Ooh. Good question.
Literally, how to be a silly little guy through physical comedy, which is why most of my
That's
input
cute.
was just basically describing like actions to support other characters. Like somebody is doing something, and Veil Pip will just go over there and like pull out a prop to assist in whatever they're doing.
Yeah, that was super fun.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I always enjoyed his prop comedy. Oh my god.
Yeah, I did too.
It's
I was
so
like,
funny.
What's that
What
little
is it?
sign? He's lying!
He's
What
like,
is this person doing, and how can I make this funnier?
Yes.
It was great.
All
right. Cassidy, volunteering you next.
Don't bite me, you little shit. They would
So-
love bites. Look, they would love bites.
All we see is pasty white skin.
I'm trying to think honestly how to word this.
I used to be nicknamed White Legs for a reason.
I tried to tap into the worst aspects of myself when I played Cassidy.
Every other week?
Self-punishment.
a
Refraining from
little
joke.
bit.
Carry on.
I mean, yeah,
Pain and hurt.
yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. How is this different from every other week? Oh,
Yeah.
how is it different than any other week? Ha ha!
Aha!
It's every day.
I basically I focused on like if I had zero filter and I just said the first thing that came to mind instead of applying a filter. The problem is that I'm not, even at my worst, I'm still fairly cooperative and still fairly goal oriented. So I found myself drifting more and more towards being a functional member of the party, which is good because it was character growth. But it was, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If I'm wording
Okay.
that poorly, but I don't know how else to explain
Yeah.
it.
I'm
You
trying to
poured
think how I
yourself
got-
into the character.
Yeah, I do what I normally do for my characters, and I took aspects of myself and dialed them up to 11, and dialed the other aspects down to like 3.
trying to think
Fun.
of how what I
Fun.
thought of to portray Carl, because that was entirely different than what I thought of Veil Pip.
Yeah, it felt different for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I still didn't feel like Casimir was as evil as you wanted him to be.
I
he-
struggled
Wait.
with that.
You went evil
Honestly.
to emo real quick.
Yeah, there's
That's
a reason we had the whole
I mean, if I
Sadamir
let him kill
scene.
children, it might have helped, but
yeah. I mean, if you let me kill children, it probably would have helped. But realistically, though, I don't play truly evil characters very well because I don't. I'm not great at being evil for evil's sake.
oh darn. I wish
never
you
have
would
been.
fix that quality of you, Matthew.
Yeah, I know.
Such
Such terrible quality.
Killed a child plus 10 mood.
Tested move.
Welcome to a rim world, everyone.
He probably whined about that during the Sadamir scene. I tried to kill a child by insulting them.
Oh,
be
haven't
fair,
we
like
all, Sadamir? Haven't we all?
We all.
Like you said, he didn't try. You did.
Yeah, that's true. That's about. Although killing a child's pretty evil. That's about as evil as I get. But I don't know if that's better or worse.
That's only as evil as I could be.
To be fair, accidentally killing a child because you happen to insult them so bad that they just died. Look, most people would not expect that. That is not usual behavior.
It probably looked like
Also-
natural
Yeah.
causes.
I'm also glad that it didn't pop up too much off after that, because your habit of accidentally casting vicious mockery for talking shit on somebody. It did show up twice, though. I do remember it showing up once again.
I'm not gonna to treat that as a curse and use it far more than he did.
He really could have.
Oh, we're glitching and lagging here.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
it's probably our internet.
You guys look
Let me
fine on
check.
my end.
Yeah, you're
Uh-oh.
what?
Maybe we're good now. That's what it was doing.
We can clearly hear that you are speaking like that on purpose, yes.
What?
Okay.
I would never.
Oh,
Yes, he
this
would.
is actually one of the fastest I've seen it in a long time. So I don't know
It's
what's
my thought. Can you?
Okay.
We were having some weird problems over
All right.
here.
All right, Zelda, how about you?
Clyde. Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you get into character?
Me?
You.
Okay. It was real easy, guys. Well, kind of. At first, it was a little sad because of who I fashioned my character after, but I tried to focus on the positives, right? So, like, she is a sort of memorial character for a coworker friend of ours who passed away, who I really loved a lot.
I know who you're talking
Luke
about.
Chen.
Yeah, we loved Julie. And so I would just kind of like think about her and how she would like handle situations and stuff like that. And you know, it's not an exact play by play for Clyde, and then just kind of like move more into the Pinkie Pie aspects of her, which I also based her on from My Little Pony. And you know, I have a playlist that I would always put on my way home from work to get in the mood for D&D.
Stop trying to kick me in the face.
Kick you in the face.
I saw that.
I fucking got him. And that was all like 70s music this time, which was really fun. Which was also inspired by Julie because she really liked Fleetwood Mac and Heart and stuff like that. So I tried to kind of like channel her even in that with stuff. Yeah, just like really happy-go-lucky thinking about everything.
Kind of similar
Very
to Veil
different
Pip.
from any of my other characters that I've ever played.
Think happy, simple thoughts.
Happy, simple, maybe on drugs, we don't know.
We're not.
Definitely on drugs.
I think that's why Veil Pip and Clyde got along so well.
Ain't
That
no
and their
doubt
obvious
about it.
love of powerlifting.
Yeah, obviously.
I
so
liked
old.
Marie.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean
What?
to interrupt.
Oh,
I was just to say I liked the effect of the two of them bonding over powerlifting brought to the group. It was a fun little dynamic.
yeah,
I
that
didn't
first
think it was in the
introduction
morning.
section.
That also was one of my favorite moments. Was the powerlifting competition between the dwarf and Clyde, especially with Veil Pip over there doing testicular torsion with Mage Hand.
You almost formed a major enemy for the campaign in there.
We're okay with that.
Like that. Yeah, no, that
We had a
session
good
it was
meal.
like, oh, I think I know a big conflict, and then it was like, kind of all shifted away from there. But
We immediately left town.
Goodbye.
See ya. Goodbye.
Well, there
We
was
did-
more than that we were running away from. We had those weird people in cloaks.
Yeah,
Oh, who the
Yeah.
fuck were they?
They were the Raven Paladins, right? They were the ones who had a problem with the undead, who were wandering in the woods for some reason, which we never figured out why there's a bunch of undead in the woods. So, we're just. This is like season 1 of the what was it, Game of Thrones, where they just end on the zombies on the ice. It's like, oh hey, this will become important in later seasons.
Yeah.
Could be.
Raven Paladins.
Yeah, the White Ravens.
They
Yeah,
were
that's what it
fun.
was.
Ravens. Did we ever run into them again?
Don't
No.
think so.
Yeah.
The only time we would have run into him is when Edward went back to camp, and
Yeah, it was like
They
you
were-
went back to town. I'm trying to remember like what counts as when you ran into them.
we went
Did
back
you meet
in
them after Nodor?
disguise, remember?
Did you meet
Not
them after
after.
Nodor again?
No,
Don't
not
think
after
so.
Nodor. It was only in
I think
Nodor.
so.
It was only in Sold. I don't think we ever encountered them outside of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
They were pretty intent on just. We never did figure out what they were up to because we talked to them a few times, and
They
That
told
was
you what
after-
they were up to.
well, that was after the coin purse fondling incident. So, Vale, there was some let's not be so honest with the authorities at that moment going on. So
Yeah.
we may have cheated at a competition. We may have used some unlicensed mage hand. Which, by the way,
Constitutional use of mage hand.
I will absolutely have to use the cast drink on self and use mage hand to carry Veil Pip around.
I'm way too little.
How much does he weigh? Does he weigh a little enough that it could do that?
No, gnomes when they're
Oh.
shrunk will be small enough that they'll be
Oh,
like 5
when they're
pounds.
shrunk. Okay. I
He
missed that.
probably will have to leave his pack behind because he carries a lot of shit with him. Power lifter weight, even on a gnome, is still fairly impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Murray. What about you? How'd you get into character?
How do you get into each of your characters?
Oh, by thinking of two very
Yeah,
simple
that's true.
words. Yes and no.
Yes and no.
So, if you ask a simple question, the answer is always yes and no. One of them is going to be saying yes, one of them is going to be saying no. And it's just figuring out
Okay.
which one's saying yes, which one's saying no. And then kind of going through that internal dialogue of them fighting back and forth of, okay, who's going to overpower and who's going to make the decision of this in the end of the day. And
Got it.
that and listening to a song that had a single line in it. I can't remember what the song is or who the artist is, but the single line is, you're like yes and no. Wait, I don't know.
Wait, I don't
No.
know.
It's like just that. And what is it? Looking for group Richard? Relax, I don't want your baby.
Oh,
I
yeah.
already ate.
I
It's like
was
how to
wondering
get
if there was some Richard in there.
how to get the energy of Ward while getting the attitude of Ed.
It's Richard.
Richard.
Because
Fair.
he's a dick.
Because he's a
He
dick.
ate a
yeah.
baby.
He's a necromancer, but he's so happy all the time. And maybe everything he says is a little sadistic and kind of terrifying, but he's so happy.
Don't worry,
Oh.
chap. I'm just going to shock your heart with this card battery. Gonna hurt like fuck, but you're gonna be alright.
It's like, I would normally eat your child, but I'm fine. I have a full stomach.
You put my remains in that bag? What if there had been like a centipede in there or something?
I thought about what I think of when I need to become Carl, and one of that is physically like doing this. Like the actual flapping was part of Carl to try to, picture yourself as, bird-like. The other part of it, be as pompous as possible.
Stick your pinky out.
This is Carl.
Stick your flight feathers out.
I can't do it very well.
I went to college.
I went to college.
I went to college.
College.
I went to Harvard.
Harvard.
Okay, make him as pompous as possible for someone who has been homeless for a while. So,
Okay.
like, I could have made him more pompous as you're doing there. Like, I could have made him so over the top, but
Like if you lived in a mansion and he was the butler.
basically, yeah.
Gotta make it as nasally as
Carl-
possible.
Like, remember, Carl is still named Carl. His name isn't Carlson Johnson the First. Wait until we meet his mother. You find out what his full name actually is. Carlson Frederick Andrew Jehovah's the Second. What are you doing back in this house?
It's about to say Jehovah, and is
Wow.
this the second coming? Oh dear. Does that
No,
mean it
but
took
he's-
your father 2 times to make you, Carl? Oh, what a pity.
First time was a failure.
First
No,
time
I-
didn't work.
That makes it very
actually,
clear.
it was
Carl
the
is
first
an accident.
37 times. I am the 38th child of 57. As it turns out, I was not the successor either.
That explains so much.
Yeah, the chosen successor of this Raven clan.
Yeah,
You know why he's the
there's
chosen
a reason.
successor?
There's a reason why Carl is so small.
He's the runt of the litter.
Oh no.
He's
No,
the
they're
the
all
eggs.
they're all runts. They can't afford all their
Inbreds.
children.
Oh,
No,
fair
it's because one of the humanoids found the nest at the end of the day and took that egg, decided to make scrambled eggs, cracked it open, and whoop, there's a bird.
He's just got a little singe in the pan.
Premature
enough. Just a
hatching.
little bit.
Nah, Carl just has a bit of stunting. No, that's actually his cousin Larry.
Leo?
We don't talk about Larry because
We don't talk
Look.
about Larry.
lame Larry. He tries his best. He just can't. He's the
okay.
little raven that couldn't.
Aw.
I tried
No,
my
see, I-
best,
Raven thing.
but I got a talk.
I the twuck.
The twuck. The fell off the back
Oh.
of the twuck.
Look.
Walking around.
No, I figured out what Carl's problem is. He's
Everything.
crazy.
Oh.
Because he's stark
He's crazy.
raven mad.
Haha.
Oh my goodness.
God.
I love it. Wait, is this my right? This isn't my right
Is that
note.
the deed?
Yes. It is. Hey,
Give in
there
there.
you go. You got a gift.
The kitty cat.
He's a
I
kitty.
love kitty cats.
Hello, the kitty.
Anyway, that was that.
That was a
And
question.
Then
All right,
That
yours,
was a
Scotland.
question. I like that question.
That was a fun
Hold
question.
off on the next one.
Quick, everyone, ask a question while he's gone.
God.
And when he comes back, start laughing. He's
What?
supposed to save it till he gets back.
Was the answer in number 1 or in number 2?
3. So,
Oh, I just found the note that I had also made of the sapphire thorns.
Oh, cool.
hey! Although, as a GM, how did you get into character? I mean, you had to do multiples, so there's no easy way.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Let's see. A couple of them, like I had maybe a rough idea of what they were, but a ton of the time they were just, oh, they need an NPC here. Okay, what's this NPC? And trying to make an emotion fit like roughly what was needed. Either by me or the party, depending on how it was going.
Yeah.
The most prep I did would be like after we had a character appear, like seeing a video, rewatching how I did the character to try to make it match.
I miss anything?
Nah.
Okay.
Other than Michael answering the question.
Which question
Yes.
was?
Same one.
Yeah, I don't remember any big prep beyond that.
Process
Yeah.
of being
More-
the
it was-
GM.
Yeah. It was definitely more the what do I need to get ready for today?
That was one of the things I loved about Veil Pip is because he is a very simple character at the end of the day. He's very easy to prep for because honestly, he's mostly reactionary. He reacts to what's going on around him and then occasionally guides the story when honestly, I didn't really get too many opportunities to be, too much of a stealthy bastard. We were pretty good at just charisma our way through whatever we had to charisma our way through. So it wasn't too often that we had to start using, skullduggery or sleight of hand in order to get what we needed.
I like some good old-fashioned skullduggery.
Right? Like, we have two characters very good at skullduggery if need be. Actually, probably all of us would be good at skullduggery if need be, because we got two people who are really good at lying.
Yeah.
Well,
Typically, we got away with buffoonery.
that's a good way to put it.
Buffoon.
Look at that
I
buffoon.
did like once they
Yeah.
started using battle maps. That helped things a lot.
I taught Michael some very important lessons about grouping your ads together.
No, you're not gonna get fireball on me this time. Oh wait, you did it. Dang.
You did it anyway.
Fireball, fireball, motherfucker, fireball.
Again.
Motherfucking fireballs.
I did it again. I cast fireball on that horde of fiends.
I came in like a fireball. I blew up all the bad guys.
Okay, Hans actually does have that recorded somewhere.
Oh, does
Oh,
it
he
really?
does, yes.
He said to me when he was making that song, he was like, what are some things that rhyme with fireball? And we brainstormed for a good 30 minutes. Just
Nice.
making up random lyrics and this is cool. I want to hear this song when you're done with it. Please send it to me.
Yes.
Nice.
I think I still have the document that Ian and I were coming up with things that you could use
Yeah.
on Fireball as well for his song, which is totally different and not a parody of Wrecking Ball. But just unconventional things that you would use Fireball for. Lighting a torch.
Wait, that might have been
Light
Ian,
some,
actually.
make
did
some
that.
s'mores. Or maybe it was. But also I know Hans did also make a
He
Fireball
did,
song.
Yeah.
But yeah, light your torch. Yeah, you go ahead.
Do it.
That's a great idea. Right there.
Yes. Hi, big boys.
do it, do
Can you
it.
sit
Yeah.
back down and not show your cat booty to everybody?
Paparazzi, Fireball.
Yeah, but we have a solution to every problem. Paparazzi, fireball.
Why did you
Paparazzi?
mention paparazzi? You just summoned the spirit of Shia LaBeouf and he attacked my camera.
Shine LaBeouf!
Running for your life, it's Shia LaBeouf.
Shine LaBeouf!
Coming for your camera.
Shine LaBeouf!
Anyway.
Wait, no, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Tobey Maguire, who the Spider-Man, who is just completely over the paparazzi, and every time they there's that one video of I can't see the traffic. Stop flashing me. He's trying to pull out at night, and it's just nonstop flash, 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 flash.
And it's like, come on, people.
I had the beginnings of a question appear in my head, and now it's gone.
I think they both have a reputation for hating paparazzi, which I don't blame, frankly.
What's your question, Michael?
Well, it's partly a question, partly a remembering because of going through notes. I came across when you guys shapeshifted into raptors.
Yes!
So was it
Yes.
fun to know dinosaurs existed? What kind of dinosaur would you want to see?
I forgot the fact that we had both a goth velociraptor and a pink velociraptor.
Velociraptor.
And just Veil Pip riding one of them through the woods. I need that as just like a still. Just
No,
two
we need
velociraptors running.
you need Veil Pip in the Chris Pratt pose.
Yes.
With a Golothiraptor and a Pinkaraptor.
Yes,
Yeah,
a Goloth
A
Raptor.
pink
I like it.
raptor.
Gotharaptor, Pinkaraptor. Why do I hear Pokemon music?
No, that's Mission
That was
Impossible.
one of my like low goals for Clyde is to see a dinosaur.
Nice.
That's
And you got
why.
to be
That's why
one.
she had. Yeah, that's why I had that shirt that had the dinosaurs all over it for her cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was like, I need to meet a dinosaur.
I'm so glad that Veil Pip just randomly had seen a dinosaur at one point in his life.
Ed wants to
And
eat one.
that's only because Nulanon, where he went to college at, is just like in the bog ass end of nowhere on an entirely different continent than we're on.
That's not the end of nowhere. That's actually a fairly heavy civilized part. It's on a totally different continent, but yeah, that is
I mean,
not the middle
compared
of
to
nowhere.
where we're at, it's the bog end of nowhere. I have no
This
idea. what it
campaign was the
actually
middle of
is.
nowhere.
I have
good to
no
know.
idea where it actually is in context of the world, which I should, because my character is from there. But it could be the equivalent of like upstate New York, as far as I know.
Upstate New York.
You like?
It could be that. It could also be like Nebraska.
Upstate New York. What are you doing? It could have been a bodega.
To be a bodega cat.
Bodeg you. What?
Okay. What is an
Bodega, you're
aspect of your characters that came out during campaign that you did not plan at all?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Definitely something with Carl. Because Carl was the most emergent part of Veil Pip's character.
All right, while you all think about it, the eating people aspect. Did not plan that
Yeah.
at all. That was completely unplanned. I was just on another binge of researching cannibalism and realized it would do this.
But not
Yeah.
be a cannibal.
But not be
He's
a
very
cannibal. He
particular.
would eat anything and everyone else. Because I realized an elf eating a human is not cannibalism. Because they're a different species.
I put it in the same category as bushmeat. It's like humans eating chimpanzees. It's the kind of thing that kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies when you really start thinking about it.
But it's still not cannibalism.
It's not cannibalism, but it is close enough that, like, in my
I
own
would eat a
con world,
chimpanzee. I'd be fine with it.
in my own con world, they would be close enough that, like, if an elf was eating a human, the elf would be liable to get some kind of disease from eating the human because they're so similar that the whatever survives in one host will survive in the other host. So parasites, viruses, bacteria would jump, which is one of the theories for where AIDS and HIV came from.
I was straight from
Well-
butt fucking.
That's the other theory.
You're thinking of Hirschkivoric disease, which is mad cow disease. That's from eating the brain
No,
of a
that
chimpanzee.
Ew.
that
You get that from
is-
eating the brain of chimpanzees.
you can get that from
I
other
know what-
things because
I know.
the misfolded protein will spread from people to people because that one is
Like feces. If
like,
you poop in a
the-
toilet, flush. Always flush.
yes. The one you're thinking of, Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease. You have
Yeah,
basically like a
Creutzfeldt-Jacobs.
yes.
Anyway,
you got like a 1 in a
back to the
billion
question.
chance.
Back to the question.
All right.
Don't eat your own people. That's how you get weird diseases.
Yes.
Don't eat things that look like you either.
All right, we're moving back to the question.
Eating
Yeah,
people.
something that appeared that you didn't plan for.
That I didn't plan for. Probably so many things. But I think the thing that pops out to me the most is that, like, I know this isn't, like, super in your face, but Clyde ended up being a little bit more maternal than I thought she might be.
Oh.
which is funny because like Julie had a kid at least.
She treated
and,
Veilpip
you know,
like a cat. Actually, no, not like a cat. She treated Veilpip like a chihuahua. How often
how do you
did
figure?
How often did she just pick up Veilpip and swaddle him?
Oh, okay.
That's not
Yeah,
Chihuahua.
well,
You
that
kick
was-
Chihuahuas.
No.
Okay, that's one way to treat chihuahuas. Back in the more
Sure.
humane school of thought, they wrapped them in blankets and swaddled them like babies.
But
Okay.
maternal.
But baby. Yeah,
Baby.
maternal. Not exactly what I was going for, but then when it came up, I'm like, yeah, I think she would be like that. And like the way that she treated the quiet kids. And she was like, oh well, we have to get them back to their mama, obviously. And I was just like, well, yeah, I guess that she would be like that.
She picked up
Wasn't
the big
originally in the
mom
plan,
energy.
but I thought maybe because she came from like such a huge family that just were like a bunch of hippies, like always just having kids all the time, constantly. Everybody is pregnant all the time. That maybe she just wouldn't want to be a mom,
I mean, a lot of
and,
people in that
maybe that's
situation
okay,
don't,
and just-
because
Mhm.
babysitting from age 6 gets old.
That's fun.
Nice.
That's cool.
Honestly, I wouldn't have guessed that she came from a family of giant hippies. Like, they're from the Feywild. I guess they're kind of hippies, but I wouldn't have guessed a giant family of hippies. Like, I thought Carl had a big family. But they're birds,
no,
so you expect that.
She doesn't even know who is from who anymore. She has
Oh, so
you
it's
know,
like a
siblings
it's like a
and cousins and like we don't even know who is mom and dad.
it's
anybody
basically a
could be
poly
mom.
hippie commune at this point.
They're like, yeah, they take care of me. They're my parents, I guess.
It's kind of yeah.
Nobody knows because everybody's just the village raising all the children. Everyone just
Mhm.
allo parents. Nobody knows who's who. It's just, hey, which one's
Right.
yours? Shit, I think
So
it's the
who
one with
knows
the
if her
blonde
aunts
hair.
are actually her aunts at all? And actually, probably not.
That one's actually your older sister. That one's your cousin twice removed. That one married her way into the family and just never left, even after like 4 husbands have come and gone. But
Except
Yeah.
for that one over there that's trying to eat the live coal out of the fire. That's Stacy's kid. Look,
Oh,
Stacy's
yeah.
kid.
no, she's half dwarf. You just have to deal with it.
You just gotta deal with it. Yeah.
That's hot. But go ahead, try it.
But go ahead and try it. We'll see how much. See which DNA you inherited.
Can I pet that dog?
Oh
Can I pet that dog?
Eat that rock.
Right the dog.
Cameron, how about you? Was there a
Who the fuck
surprise?
is that?
Sorry. Jeez.
That's all right. That's all right.
I don't know. My mind's elsewhere. Rytek. Who is what happened with either Carl or Veilpip that surprised you?
I do have to say Carl was probably the most emergent character because, I always intended him to be the mouthpiece for the two, and he was going to be the main viewport for everything. That way I wouldn't have to play 2 characters all the time. But I didn't quite expect him to be quite so catty and just talking shit with Veilpip. He was supposed to mistranslate things at time, but eventually he just turned into a nagging sibling who was just very disappointed in his sibling for not doing anything that he should have done properly.
Yeah.
He can't leave, but he's stuck here, so he's just like, Veilpip, I'm going to make I have to live another day, and I'm going to make it your problem. And that's kind of how he came out a lot. Which is not a bad way to do it, but it's also... It does kind of interfere with the happy-go-lucky way that Veilpip is supposed to be. So, if we have some plot development, or some character development, it definitely has to be Val, Pip, and Carl need to like have a hugging moment where they're like, okay, I don't hate you anymore, so I don't feel the need to be so antagonistic to myself when I'm playing Carl.
Well, that's nice.
You should send Carl to therapy.
Carl should probably.
You should-
Carl needs therapy.
Because then it could be like oh, it's just because he. Oh wait, no, Carl, we talked about this in therapy. You're not going to say that again. Pip would like to know whether or not it is time for dinner.
Sit him down with Ward. Ward will set him through a therapy session.
Well,
All right,
maybe
let's
if he did
discuss
this-
about how much of a dick you are. Oh, tell me.
Maybe
What things did you say to poor old
Maybe.
Velvet today?
if the person I had a contract with didn't decide to put his metaphysical hand
No,
up my arsehole. in
You're
order to
putting
make
the
me
blame
squawk.
of your own problems on someone else again. Now admit to yourself, what is your issue in this? Where did
You're
you
just
go
gonna-
wrong?
You're just gonna see Veil Pip cast message, and all of a sudden Veil Pip goes, "It ain't me! It ain't me! It ain't me!
It ain't me. It ain't
Okay.
me.
I just
It ain't
but
me!"
I just thought of another hilarious filler thing we could do. The different
Oh.
characters in therapy.
Oh.
Veil Pip in
That would be
therapy
funny.
is gonna traumatize a few people. I'm sorry.
And tell me, and what does that make you feel? What was
If
it
you
like? Oh,
Put
We're all just a
Edward.
D&D game, man. Don't you get it? They're just 5 assholes sitting around a table. We're just made up in their minds, man.
they don't even got a table like some other folks do.
Other
It's
folks.
like
just-
all imaginary.
They just
It's all
exist
in
over
their head.
cyberspace.
If you put Edward at a therapist table, I guarantee you that therapist will be running out crying, afraid for their life.
Yeah, okay, everyone. No, here's the next
I think
question.
you look really tasty today.
Trust me, he will probably eat you if you give him the chance.
He's not lying, actually. I would absolutely eat you.
Actually,
No, no,
Seriously.
see, that's
Give 'em some
violating
barbecue
our
sauce.
client therapist relationship. We don't talk sexually about the therapist. That's a violation.
I wasn't sexual. I was literal. I genuinely want to barbecue you.
Here's my
Oh.
question for everyone. What
I'm
does
not
your
sure which is
therapist do
better or
when they
worse.
leave?
I'm not sure that's in the contract, but let's say no to that.
I
from
thought it
now
was on
on.
page
Thank you.
3. Ward?
Yes, page 3, actually, subsection C.
Casimir,
No,
what does your therapist do when they leave therapy?
But my personal therapist or the
No,
or the
Casimir's therapist.
Casimir's
what does
his
Casimir's
therapist.
therapist say when they leave therapy?
All right, you have a great day now. Fucking edgelord, holy shit! Get over your issues, man.
If even half the shit you say is real, then why? How do you even get out of bed in the morning?
Bed in the
Lighten
morning.
fuck up, man. Come on.
Right. Oh
Fine.
man.
God,
My
why is she so
therapist-
horny?
She isn't,
Oh, that was
though.
Belle. That
She
was
is
Belle.
not.
Bella was.
Yeah,
but
you're
like,
getting.
I got
getting
the. I
mixed
got a. No, I got a subtle bit from Clyde, but it's more of a. I did some shit that I don't feel like discussing anymore, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah,
not always
exactly.
horny. That's like I have stuff. But
I have stuff. I have been horny, and I can be, but we're not going to talk about it right now. No, I think that that Clyde's therapist would just be like, no, really, you do need to like talk about your issues. You can't just like toxic positivity your way out of it. I'm sorry. No.
Clyde would just
Positivity is
have
not toxic. Positivity is really important.
Uh-huh.
Clyde would just have
She'd just
one of
be
those
like,
really
"No."
big head tilts, and you'd just see like her face crack.
no, that's Casimir. I guess.
No,
Fine.
Casimir doesn't.
No, she would do it too, but only in therapy.
Only therapy.
No, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine here. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
How are you?
Okay.
The Zen
don't
garden's in
rage.
front of you. We talked about this. Whenever you're feeling angry, just pick up that rake and start. There you go. Good job. You're doing
Where's my
pretty
axe?
nice, that is.
No,
Oh, you
no.
want the axe version?
she's-
Pulls out an axe rake
It-
for the Zen garden.
No, the
Yeah.
Zen garden would be her at 10 years of treatment. No, she's going in the rage cage with a sledgehammer and a boulder.
Wrong kind of Zen garden.
Yes.
Yes. It's a very
because she's all emotions all the time. Like, her main emotion is, like, joy. But if it ever switches to something else, it is that.
It's an Eladrin.
And it is a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's always at 100. It's not always the emotion
Just
you
whatever
want it to be
dial it's
100
at.
at.
to be yeah.
And the couple times where she mixes them, they're both at 100, is what I noticed.
That too, yeah.
Yes.
That was fun.
I'm happy and sad.
It's like the dial of, with the sound mixer. You can have this sound playing to everyone and this sound playing to everyone, but sometimes this sound's turned off. It's still going. It's still there. It exists, but it's not always showing.
Like when you start a video and there's no right audio.
Ugh. I feel like the therapy was a segue from a different question,
That
but
was
I
a
forget
segue.
where we were.
It
Yeah,
was.
What was the question before that?
Oh, what?
I don't mind the
changed
segue. I
about
thought
your
it was fun.
Yes.
What
What,
was
was,
it?
the, what was the most emergent trait about your character?
Oh, what
that
was the
came
thing
out
that
in
came from
play?
your character that you did not plan?
Oh, okay, yeah. Did Casimir answer that? Did Smythe answer that?
I don't think
we
No, I
all
did
did.
not.
I don't think Smython did.
Actually, no, I didn't. Yeah,
No.
I had not answered that one. But it's really simple. Actually, it's
Blinded by the light.
his sudden sympathy for Ed. That
Mm.
moment,
Oh.
because I was
Right.
pretty heavily into the Casimir mindset, but for some reason,
being a little shit over there.
when Ed was like, "Hey, come over here, help me! They have me prisoner." I don't know what happened, but right in that moment,
Ed,
Casimir
to
was
endure.
like, "I'm gonna help him." I don't know what happened, but that I did not expect that in the slightest.
It's totally gaslighting you too.
Well, I'm sure he was, but it worked. So
I think Casimir just has an attachment to characters who've been forced into circumstances that they don't want to be in.
yeah, that was definitely
And-
part of it.
And the initial impression we had of Ed was absolutely that. Like, he did not want to be working for that carnival.
No.
Oh, he
Like,
could have killed him at
was-
any point too.
He just didn't want to have to explain the bodies, I think.
He went back and killed one of them.
As Ward, too. Like, hey,
Oh, excuse me.
put the bodies on your passenger. Yes, could you get your booty out of the way? Come on. You are like the worst co-producer I could ask for. Come on.
This is my back. This is my back. My butt is not in the way.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies. Oh wait, sorry.
Ooh, if there was like a single quote, maybe not like the one that they always say, but what's like, if you saw like a sticker of your character, what would be the wordage that goes with the character that everyone's like, oh yeah, that's them.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm saying this just for Clyde. It has to be the chameleon Clyde.
Has to be
Quote.
Chameleon Clyde.
Yeah. Just doesn't even need any text on it. Just chameleon Clyde with chameleon thoughts.
That would be a good sticker. Mm.
No thoughts, just chameleon.
That's a good line.
Well, and unfortunately by that logic, it almost has to be Sadamir. Like if there was going to be a sticker, that would be one of them.
I'm Sadamir.
Charles would be went to college.
I went to
I went to Harvard.
Harvard, yes.
Val Pips would just be like him pulling something out of a hat. No, actually, it'd probably be him pulling a sign out from behind his back. What would the sign say in a sticker?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can think of two.
What you got?
For Ed, it would be drooling and him going, I wonder what you taste like.
Yep. Yep.
And for Ward, it would be, seriously, this is when you sit down?
Sit down.
Yep.
I'm just imagining a close-up of Ed, and then you just see Ward inside, like a cutaway of the skull, going, "Oh my god, this."
I bonded with this idiot.
This is what
Yeah,
I'm
there we
stuck
go.
with now.
Okay, my new headcanon is that whenever Ward is not in control, he is just wandering around inside Ed's skull, like he wandered inside the cartoon, and he's just walking around behind the eyeballs going, oh my god, what is this guy doing?
Oh, it's so I always had the image whenever Ed was in control. Ward is sitting in the background with a little notebook, writing down, going, "Ooh, that's a terrible idea. Oh, what an idiot! He's just being stupid again." Writing all the actions down, doing his research, because that's what he was created for. It's research.
Why do I imagine that when Ed sleeps, he just sees Ward over him going, and this is why you suck today, asshole.
Right, let's revisit your actions for the day. So first thing you did is you ate a human. Terrible idea. I had a bioproduct, a lot of bacteria that entered your system. Don't eat the appendix next time.
They were the remains. He couldn't tell which parts were which.
Which part? Oh no!
There was at least one woman and child in that.
So he has like the worst version of the social anxiety running through your brain. You actually have the voice categorizing everything.
And you know what?
The
If
voice
that's
in your
what
head
he's dealing
actually
with-
hates you.
If that's what he's dealing with, then I suddenly have a lot more sympathy for Ed. I really do.
I imagine
Right,
there's probably, like, the dreams were just moments in the past where Ed was torturing his family, torturing his clan, like poisoning them slowly, and just revisiting all those memories. And Ward going, now what did you do wrong here? And Ed saying, absolutely nothing. I mean, maybe I didn't put enough mercury in this one, because, I mean, it took him 2 months to die, and it wasn't painful enough.
Oh, that's...
Woof.
No wonder
sticker.
Ward hates him so much.
Yeah, Clyde sticker.
Clyde
Clyde
sticker, I
sticker.
think, would be like her lifting her battle axe and like just like really happy face to just be like,
I would like
wanna
to
smash?
rage.
Want to smash?
wanna smash?
Nice.
Wanna smash?
That's cute.
That's a good one.
10 out of 10 would
we-
smash.
Mhm.
It cuts to Hulk just doing that thing to Loki.
Yeah. I feel
Mhm.
like you could also do one of Casimir with just like this giant psychotic grin on his face, doing something along the lines of, and now it's time to do what warlocks do best. Eldritch Blast!
Time to blast.
Surprising nobody.
Time to
Blast.
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 No,
Blasting time.
I
It's
just want to see
blasting time.
Sadamir sitting over there on a log crying, and then he's like, "I'll just blast."
the sad Eldritch Blast. Doesn't even look, it just kind of points it over his shoulder and just fires.
All right, Michael, I need to know. Nort sticker.
Oh. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to remember the first
You had
line
a
he
lot
said.
of lines with him that were great, so I have to know.
Yeah, let's see. The first one that comes to mind is the first one he said, which is, if you can't get out of the mines, bring the mines to you, or something like that. Honestly, maybe one where he's just like, that is a great point, or that's a wonderful question.
He was good. He was Gucci. Okay. I have a question now.
So cute.
What is everyone's favorite relationship, either between PCs or NPCs or PC-NPC combination? Like ones that were formed during the length of the campaign that they just enjoyed.
Personal favorite between Casimir and Edward, just because. Honestly, they made such a sassy frontman combo.
We really did.
That's actually my favorite too.
Cool, but
It's a relationship
nice.
between Ward and Casimir, like in particular. I really enjoyed that.
That was fun.
I still find it funny that Ed never quite realized that Ed is just evil as shit. He's just like, oh, hey, fellow talking animal, you must be all right. Carl just hasn't realized, like, oh shit, he's seriously fucking evil. This is why, maybe this is why father doesn't call.
'Cause you can't tell what is evil and good. What's wrong with you, boy?
I just wanted to be a wizard familiar. like my father before me.
That's what the family expected.
Oh my goodness.
I know this is probably going to sound silly, but I loved all of the little interactions with the dust sprites or the little servitors from the tiny hut.
Oh, yes. The ones I stole from Spirited Away.
Yeah, just all the little antics that they did, including, like the one that trying to make Casimir feel better while he's being Sadamir.
He's just something like, buddy, I'm supposed to be on watch right now. Can you not have this breakdown over here?
Oh, no, we're doing a full breakdown. Okay, it's okay, buddy. We got you.
Well, shit, I might as well use the high ground to my advantage.
I have the high ground.
Up on top of his head.
I did enjoy the sprites. They were fun little, just goofy little boogers to pop around. That's why I always kept upcasting it whenever I had the opportunity, so there'd be like 3 or 4 of them running around just, hi, do you need a cup of coffee?
Accidentally crushes himself because it's too heavy. Poof.
It's like, oh shit, I should have gave him more than 1 HP.
No, they have half HP.
They have stat blocks. That's the hell of it. Like, those are actual mobs.
Oh, wow.
God. Like a quarter of an HP.
Quarter of an HP.
All right, I have a follow-up question if we're all done with the last one.
Did Clyde say did Zelda say
I
hers?
think so.
Veilpip and Clyde. I think we already talked about this though. Like their little,
I mentioned it earlier with the often you kept
the
swaddling him.
Mhm.
Go on, little guy.
That honestly
which
was
I mean,
pretty
she did
funny.
to Ed too. Which honestly, I did enjoy Clyde and Ed's relationship as well. Just because of their druidness.
Yeah.
Which,
running around and pointing out
didn't
plans.
come up very much.
The few times that we're
I
just
could
like,
talk to this one.
it's like, you can? Really? Dang.
Yeah.
What's it say?
Oh damn! No, those tiny servants have 4d4 health.
I loved the swaddling of Veilpip. Like how could we make him quiet? I'm gonna swaddle him. Oh, right, okay.
And the only reason he's noisy is because the tiny wizard is in scale armor. He just clunk, 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 clunk.
Wrap them up. Had lots of practice because
And I love that
so
it was
many
effective
siblings.
too. Because hey, if he's not moving, he's not making stealth checks.
Nope.
What was the follow-up question?
Favorite portrayal of an NPC?
By the players or from the NPC?
Portrayal, not betrayal, but portrayal.
Portrait.
Let me say it the American way. Favorite portrayal of an NPC?
Hey man, my favorite character on that there picture screen, it had to be that there Leon.
Leon.
Like honestly,
He's
I
played
felt
so brilliantly by Cary Grant.
I know. I felt so bad for Leon by the end. I'm like, do we really want to kill this guy?
Yes.
Like, I just don't think he knew what he was getting into. And considering that it's Ed, it's like maybe a little bit of evil is appropriate when you're dealing with Ed.
Yeah.
Just feel a little guilty.
Just slightly.
Also, it wasn't an old lady who got gored to death by a minotaur too. Like it wasn't even Leon who got it.
It was his wife.
No,
Oh, was
Leon was the one that died, and she got gored.
She got
Didn't
gored.
die.
Oh,
It was
his
the
wife?
two
I
of
thought it
them.
was just some
She was the
old
one who
lady.
peddled the goods, or who like did the finessing of the goods,
Sell it.
selling it. But they both, in Ed's mind, deserved it.
Yeah.
The thing is, what he
Lovely.
didn't tell everyone is that he's the one who gave them the idea. But no, Leon actually 100% was mine as well. Mainly because I just threw that character in the backstory and was like, let's see what Michael does with this. And then you came
And
up
then
with
he made-
Leon.
They made Leon sympathetic, and I'm like, feel bad about gaslighting this fucker now. Like,
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but not really.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard. It's just like act sleep deprived, and anyone is pathetic.
Paranoid, sad.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot the paranoia was worked in there. Yeah.
Worked
That was
that in
fun.
brilliantly. All right, what
I
about...
enjoyed.
Yeah, go for
The
it.
way
Oh,
we
sorry.
abuse spells in this campaign.
Nope, still on the other question. Go for it.
The-
That's another question.
I enjoyed the old guy that we ricocheted off the fourth wall a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Bunyan.
The dude in the rocking
With
chair.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 That's the one I was thinking of too.
Oh really?
Uh-huh.
Wait. So I heard Bunions and I heard Rocket Chair. Are you
Wait,
talking the one?
Wait, the one in
dwarf or the one in like the
Soul or dwarf?
town? Yeah, so old or dwarf old guy. I'm
'Cause
thinking
we-
it was the so old guy.
Yeah, because we had two old guys who were basically in rocking chairs.
But the ricocheting off the
Oh.
fourth wall was in the town.
Oh,
Right?
I was specifically thinking of the one in the town, but yes, I do also like the other old guy too. I was just enjoying the shenanigans with the fourth wall.
I mean,
You were
honestly,
so sure he was going to be a major important character. I'm like,
I was positive that was something important, and
that was. I don't remember. I think that was just random encounter roll type thing, or
I think it was.
list.
You
What
pulled
would you
them
see
out
in
of your
town? Oh,
ass.
and there's a guy on the rocking chair. Either that or I
That's
just made it up. It's
amazing.
like, what would you see? There's a guy on the rocking chair. But
That's
yeah, no, he
amazing.
wasn't supposed to be anything. That it's like, oh yeah, go get me my book, and you're like, what's inside?
What's
No,
in
it's
the
just-
book?
it's just a gazebo.
I've
Yep.
I've never been part of a campaign where the GM genuinely was just like, you know what, let's just take this fourth wall talk and make an NPC talk about the concept of a fourth wall.
Fourth wall.
And how long you just kept it going. And
That
how
was
we were
fun.
like, there's something with this guy. Just because of that fact. It's like, why is he theorizing with us? There's no reason for him to
Yeah.
be theorizing with us.
He's bored. He's stuck on his porch with a broken leg. What else is he gonna do?
I just assumed it was kind of
Bunions are hurting.
natural. Because my character already was bouncing off the fourth wall to begin with.
Mhm.
That's true.
So I'm like, oh, is this normal? Is this not? I don't know.
Well. Wow.
I'd forgotten
Wow.
about him. That's funny. Thank you
Yeah,
for
that's
reminding me. I'm sorry.
yeah.
kind of why I thought of the old guy in the tavern first before the old guy in So Old, because he only showed up for a very short bit.
He made an impact though. At least he made an
He
impression.
really
on me.
did.
Well, that's one of the things I really like about I mean, so it's the classic thing of, there's a tavern. There's this guy who's obviously who you're supposed to talk to. Oh, and there's the goblin with a pink haircut. Who's the goblin?
Tell us about the goblin.
Yeah, but as long as you then just try to make them some sort of actual personality, you can have those things where it's like, oh yeah, this is now the favorite character, or this is the character that reminds you, because it's still a person in some fashion.
I think the NPCs that struck us the most from yours were the ones that engaged us in specific moments. Like the dude in the rocking chair engaged us with the fourth wall. Bunyan's guy engaged us because he was a unique description. Nork engaged us because he asked really weird, intriguing questions that got us to just randomly think in weird ways. Even the Woodcock engaged us at the beginning because he was just so genuine and then suddenly flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Like immortal enemy. Still determined to kill that guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the best way to make a mortal enemy.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that he keeps freaking running away.
Coward.
Coward.
Well, how else can he be? How can he become a BBEG if he dies?
That's the point. We're supposed to kill the
Coward.
BBG.
Easily. Easily. He's a necromancer. He dies. Turns out in the next campaign he's
Phylacteries?
still alive because of a phylactery. Exactly. Turns out he's a lich. And that was just the body we killed.
Fair. But now you hate him because he runs away.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
He's a coward.
That too.
Now we must hunt him to death.
I will
Don't let him
hunt
get
you
away.
down.
I will eat his
Kill him
soul.
to death.
I don't know who. I'll kill him to death. Yes, I possess a very unique set of skills.
Ed is definitely picking up recipes for liver and onion, nice lung stew,
Soak it in
heart
some
For
steak.
humans
milk first.
specifically.
Human specifically, yes.
What's the sweetbread recipe?
It's got skin in
I
it.
haven't had good liver and onion in a long time.
Me neither.
I hear you gotta soak it in milk to get the bitterness out.
I hear it's
I
impossible.
like the bitterness. You hear incorrectly.
I know. I'm sure.
See, I don't remember it being that bitter. Maybe my mom did do that. There was a while where we ate liver and onions pretty frequently. If you can find calf liver,
Mm.
and if it's prepared right, it's actually really good. It has to be prepared right, and maybe the milk is part of it. I'm not sure.
Sheep
I
liver.
just hear that soaking it in milk takes the whatever flavor in there that most people don't like about liver out. I don't remember ever having liver, so don't ask me. I just
like
watch a
bitter
lot of cooking
things.
videos.
Yeah, sorry, tangent. I might be hungry.
For liver and
Me
onions.
too.
Well, we can eat after this. What other questions? I've run out. I'm like, I mean,
All right,
I
got a
like the
question.
questions.
Now.
Oh, you got a question?
Yes, what is every character's favorite food?
Food.
Ooh.
Whatever
Carl's
kills last.
obviously is bird seed because fucking bird.
Fucking bird.
It doesn't mean they like birdseed the best, but okay. So his favorite is birdseed.
Mm.
I like.
That's actually fun. Does he have a
the-
feeder at the school? Is there a feeder for all the familiars?
Just a bird feeder sitting off the back of Bale
It's
Pip's
on
hat.
automatic timer, so in Carver at some random point, all you hear is and then suddenly
Immediately you just see
Fire it.
Car go.
just a murder of crows randomly flying to their feeders. Oh my gosh. Ed's definitely has to be a lamb gyro,
Ooh, there you go.
Mm.
just
I
because
just
of that
bring all the
short.
flavors together.
You just, yeah, gotta give it a good whiff.
Nice. Good answer.
Casimir's would probably be like favorite food would be fresh venison, rare, with like an onion and spice sauce put over it.
Mm. That sounds good.
I've had the option, I've had the ability to have that specific dish, and it is delicious.
Mm.
Sounds really good.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
Jinx.
He owns soda, or he owes you a soda.
What's Clyde's?
I'm trying to think. I don't know vegan food all that well. Like the only thing I can think of is like her
It'd probably
her
be
pocket
curry.
beans.
Come on.
Ooh, I do love curry.
Pocket beans. Good berries.
Yeah.
Pocket,
Well,
pocket beans. Pocket
Like-
beans.
pocket beans. Yeah, because like you had pocket bacon, and I was like, well, she wouldn't eat pocket bacon. I mean, unless it's like the whatever fake meat stuff. But she did have
Bacon.
pocket beans that she kept on like offering people, and nobody wanted them.
You need to do like pocket cashews instead. Something more chewable than beans.
Pocket pistachios.
Yeah, pocket pistachios.
But pocket beans is funnier.
It is.
It is.
Pocket beans?
Pocket bean? And everybody just like,
Mhm.
oh.
She probably would be a kombucha babe.
Mm,
Well, I can see that. Yeah,
yeah,
that makes
I
sense.
can see that.
Yeah. Chai tea.
I love chai tea.
Up at Newark.
Good chai latte at about 2 a.m. is delicious.
An orc? Is that what you said?
Newark.
Nork.
Who's Nork?
I don't know. That dwarven
Norrit?
dude with Norrit. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Felspar. That's the element I was trying to remember
Yeah,
earlier.
that's right.
Felspar.
Hey, yeah, feldspar asteroids.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably
Delicacy.
a forge cooked Felspar, where they heat it up nice, and then they can actually smash it in the forge, so it becomes more of like
Like a
a pizza
pancake?
crust or a
They're
pita.
creep-
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just making calzones in there, and then they're hammering them out into pizzas later.
Yeah. With some mushrooms on top. Mushrooms and rock salt.
My gosh.
Ooh, I
Somebody
like rock
found
salt.
Just-
a way to combine like a calzone and
Rock
what's
crepes.
what's the name of that Chinese or not Chinese, the Japanese rice or the Japanese rice egg where they cut it on top of the rice and it's like basically a barely cooked
Oh.
omelet.
Oh, what is it called?
Oh, I know what you're talking
Oma
about.
rice, is that it?
I can't remember.
I think it's
But I know what you're talking about.
Basically,
You
it's
figured out.
it's scrambled. It's a scrambled egg / omelet on top of rice, and sounds like that.
Oh.
Oh, go.
Almost
it's
looks like a
Oma rice.
hollandaise on the inside of it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very unusual. Like it's cooked to just the right level. It's someone who has cooked a lot of eggs. I'm like, holy shit, how do you do this consistently? Like, oh,
Hollandaise.
this is not a hollandaise. This is eggs.
Eggs.
It's like a hollandaise, yes, but this is eggs.
You put the right amount of cream stuff inside of it, and the egg will cook, but not scramble.
Not sure if that's what they're doing with this one.
Could be though.
Either
I
way,
could see that.
quack quack.
Quack quack. Kind of actually.
Yay,
I
food
mean,
quack.
it was food related, and that was the
Yeah.
part of the question. I'm just imagining
Yeah.
rock crepes now. Like if Edward to retire in your world, I'm making a dwarf that is a cook. And I'm going to find all the rock materials and cook in all the rocky ways with all the recipes I know, but substitute things for the appropriate rocks as best I can. I'll probably put more research into that character than any character I've ever done research for.
I have a character idea who's like 90% of them is just making like cheese and mead and bread in the swamp.
In the swamp.
Oh, that does sound fun. But yeah, yum.
Yeah, basically it's a
Yum.
druid, but most of what she does is just food.
That
Food.
gives me a question.
Ah.
Did any of you have backup characters planned or written, and what were they, if you want to tell?
Didn't actually have a backup character for this campaign since
Ooh.
mostly I figured if the wizard dies, shit has gone so bad, we're gonna be writing a lot of different characters.
Wizards die easy. Except for
They-
Veilpip.
They do, but Veilpip is he's generally cautious and he has a much higher AC than most wizards. I think he still probably has the
when he was by himself.
he definitely could. I still think he has the
Yeah, he
highest
definitely
AC out of the
could've
party actually.
Did he?
I can find out. I have
Uh,
all.
I think so.
okay.
Because
Probably
I know
anyway.
at least when we started, he was definitely the highest, and I don't think that changed highly.
Probably not. Did no one have backup characters?
No, I did.
Oh.
It was
Oh, you
the
did?
character that I almost played.
Oh, okay.
So Caspar Hercules was going to be my backup.
Oh,
Oh.
right, the Magic Man or the Metro Man character.
Metro Man / inspired by the one video of the guy with the filter singing the Sabaton song.
Yeah.
Yep, Veilpip was
Sabotage.
ahead of everyone by 2 in AC.
Yeah, which is funny because Veilpip's not intended to be a tank. He is just supposed to not be a squishy wizard.
No, he's the tank.
Yeah, he ended up as the
He
tank
ended up
more
as
often
the
than he
tank,
should
yep.
have been. Like the only other person who tanked better than he did was Edward, and that's because Edward could wild shape and disregard most of it.
I think Clyde's the one who took the most damage out of everyone, so she's the one who tanked the most.
Yeah.
Did she?
Barbarian?
Honestly, I felt like it was.
I
felt
healed
like it
her
was
so
Edwards.
much.
That's
Oh, okay.
Did a
I was
lot
gonna
of
guess
healing.
Casimir.
I had
Casimir
to be
took very
right
limited
up
damage.
against them to hit him.
And took a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, Casimir kind of just stood in the back and sniped things. Although, to be fair, once Casimir decided where he was standing, he really didn't move from that spot.
Yeah. He became a very easy target.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed you finally figured out that he doesn't move. And then I had to start moving because you started targeting
Which
him.
is dumb, because you remember, him and I can just switch places whenever we want.
I kept forgetting about that.
Like, we both had benign transposition, so there was literally nothing stopping us from just doing boogie woogie and switching places whenever we
Boogie
want.
woogie. Boogie doogie.
Boogie woogie.
And also, Veil Pip, because he's a conjuration wizard, can just cast literally grease anytime he wants and get that ability back. So he can just keep switching places with people all he wants. Which is one of the reasons why he's so tanky, since he's meant to be able to, like, pop into a situation that he shouldn't be in, maybe do all right for a turn, and then pop the fuck back out where someone else can take the actual damage. He's not supposed to be a tank. He's just tankier than a wizard has right to be.
So,
Yeah.
I didn't have a backup character, mainly because Ward, as a premise, is something that you could attach to any NPC. All they had to do was bring him to another humanoid and say, hey, you want a companion? And suddenly I've got the same character, just without Ed aspect.
Yeah.
And
Or just
Wouldn't you still be
Which
able
is-
to play Ed though if you wanted?
if I
At
wanted
least
to.
the Ward version of Ed.
Oh, yeah.
which
The Ward version, easy peasy. It just would be
I-
attaching another random NPC, and I do a lot of GMing myself, so coming up with a random NPC is easy to do. But the build
Yeah,
itself just would have continued.
Body.
Mhm.
That's fun. It's like the Doctor.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
same thing that my
New
character
body.
in your your SCP campaign did. If he dies, anyone near him just gets stuck with his conscience.
Is your character now an SCP?
The evilest
He
person
would be
in the
classified
room
as
gets
one.
stuck with his
If-
consciousness.
If you were in the SCP universe, Ward 100% would be classified as an SCP.
Ward
Oh,
would
yeah.
be on the same floor as Mao. Like
Ward
they
would
would be
probably be in high
Wow.
security.
Wow, yeah.
Mao.
I
We
mean,
don't know where he's
the
sending this
only-
information to.
the only reason why Mao isn't in high security is because he works with the Foundation. Other than that, he's literally a body snatcher who just randomly grabs a body anywhere on the planet when you try to kill him. Which
So-
usually you can predict who the evilest person in the room is, but there's always that mass murderer on the other side of the globe that you might not know about.
I did have another random fun build I thought about for this one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a wizard bard mix, and we already had a bard warlock and a wizard artificer mix. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna do something different. This might be a good idea to do the different class wild shaping druid. His name is Dadicus Radicus, and he's a turtle.
This Radicus.
Love it.
Is your name Biggest?
Oh,
Because
I
he's
definitely
a-
would have.
He's a good friend of mine back in the
think-
Senate.
I think his voice would have been more like a.
Oh, yes, you absolutely think that's what you're doing? No.
Nice.
Ah, so Ward, but more senile.
No.
Yes, word, but more
Senile
senile.
Ward.
No, that'd have been fun.
Now you're talking to someone who prepares random builds, and how many? I have 166 unlisted characters,
Oh, wow.
Built. so I have a plethora to choose
Fully
from.
built.
Fully built, fully built. There's a number
Dang.
of them that have been used. I mean, Binkatel's in here. You all remember Binkatel?
Ah, Binkatel.
He's fun. Shooky Lookum. Ha, he was fun. I got a lot of builds.
Nice.
I've got like, actually no, I've got 2 spare builds. I think at the moment.
That's
I've
fun.
got I've got the warlock I haven't used, and then I've got a couple different builds that I'm kind of floating around with. Although the 3 of them are not actually in 5e, they're just kind of up in the air because I have no idea what we're actually gonna put them in. So they're just kind of like general ideas.
I actually don't do a ton of like character building. Like I'll draw characters or think of stories, but I rarely actually convert them into D&D blocks, and maybe I should.
Well, it isn't really a D&D block, and the more so as it is just a solid concept that stands on its own, regardless of kind of where you place it.
I have the benefit where I work backwards. I make the D&D block, and then I attach a character to it.
That's fair.
So my blocks exist, but there's not necessarily a character in it. But coming up with a character is easy. But GMing for so long, I improv them all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did not have a backup at all.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, me neither.
Wasn't.
Worried.
I was pretty intent on Veil Pip being my escape from a serious character for a while, so I didn't come up with a backup in case anything actually happened to him. But
yeah,
like, he's also a character who has enough flexibility that if he decides to fuck off 200 meters that way and leave, he can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To quote a great man, I'm a wizard. It doesn't have to make sense at all.
Who's the great man?
who is the great man?
Actually, no, let me translate that better. I'm a wizard. I don't have to explain shit. And it's from Seth Scene Talk.
Okay.
It's on his episode about Space Station 13. I'm a wizard. I don't have to explain shit.
All right.
You don't have to meddle in the affairs of dragons or wizards.
All right,
Oh, you're
you
crunchy,
wonderful
please go
lot.
catch up.
We are at that 2-hour mark, so final remarks for the Ark of the Wilds.
I hope to play Veil Pip again. He's a very fun, irreverent character who he's very easy to get into. He's very easy to support all of his just compatriots with. And he doesn't really have a whole lot going on in his own story to derail shit with. Like you guys have all figured out, he's a very simple character. He's got like one twist left in his whole story, and that's basically it.
So far.
True. You could build more.
Yeah, character
Create
development will
twists.
be. I'll be honest. I feel like a part of it is if we hit character development on him, it'll be a little bit of Cerberus syndrome because he's the funny comedic relief character. So like if he starts getting serious character bits, we've run out of character bits to give to other people. Like he's a simple character. He dropped out of college to be a stand-up comedian. What you see is what you get.
All right, Smython, Zelda.
It would be very interesting to see the next arc of Casimir's story because
Yes.
he has had a major change, like to the point of I'm sure you noticed I even changed his voice once the bonds were broken.
I thought we just couldn't keep an accent going straight.
Oh, no, sorry, that was very deliberate.
Okay, sorry, because I can't keep
No,
an
you're
accent
fine.
going straight. to
I
save
don't
my
blame
life.
you. I don't blame you for thinking that. I don't know where he would go, but it would be interesting to find out.
I also remember your gangster accent kept floating between which mafia it was.
That's fair. Yeah,
Is it Russian? Is it Italian? Is it Irish? Where the hell did the Mexican mafia come from?
Zelda.
Yeah. No, I would definitely be down for playing more in this world. and going some more into Clyde's backstory, potentially meeting the ants. Who knows?
We gotta kill him.
That could be interesting.
Do it alongside Carl's mom.
Right.
The Feywilds episode where we all have
Who
therapy.
knows if they're still in the Feywild? We don't know.
Clyde's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
True,
she
but
left to
she
get
said-
away from them. I don't know that they're not here.
We came to
so-
find you. You owe them money.
Oh, shit.
Like,
We
the only
paid.
My
thing,
niece owes me money.
the only
We
thing
paid for your
for
martial arts training.
Edward would be to figure out who started the fire, because he definitely didn't. Who killed all the animal clans in that forest? It was not Ed, and it was not
Does he
Ward.
Even though
care
he
enough to
tried.
find out, or is that what you want to find out?
That's
Sure,
what
I
I want to
wasn't.
find out.
Ah, okay.
Ward's a little curious. I mean,
Sure it wasn't.
but he's also a researcher, so he's always curious
Mm-hmm.
about things. But Ed's just kind of like, good riddance.
Okay.
I imagine Ward doesn't care if he finds out for 200 years because he's got a very
He's got time.
long. Yeah, he's got a very long time frame on.
200 years is a blink of the eye. He could wait till
Right.
someone else figures it out and he reads it in a history book.
You talked about
Real
him
goes
literally.
cold.
Okay, here's a question for you. How fucking old is Ward? Because at least by some of the things you've said, it sounds like he's old enough to have seen a planet or two die.
He's definitely is, because he said that. As a factual statement, I have seen planets die. This is nothing to me. Casimir, pull yourself together.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point Casimir and Ward are just gonna have, a drink off and be like, "All right, so what's the craziest thing you've seen?"
Casimir
And
will be
Ward is-
weeping at the end of it.
Yeah,
Like,
Ward is
I
just
thought
gonna
my life
be
was
just-
bad.
Ward's gonna be not affected, and just Cass is gonna be over in the corner just sobbing. Why did I choose this?
This is why I said pull
shit.
yourself together. Seriously, you've
Yeah,
not seen
have
the
another
worst
drink.
of it. Have another
Yeah,
drink,
have another-
friend.
Kiss.
You're gonna want to forget this
Meanwhile-
conversation tomorrow.
Vale Pip is in the corner just going, "Slowly, don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything."
All right, Michael.
It's all in
What
there.
about you? Final thought.
Thank y'all for letting me DM for you for a full campaign arc. I mean, that's probably semantics, but no, I think it was fun. I hope you had fun. I liked getting to develop the world and let y'all play in it.
It's a hoot and a
Yeah,
half.
thanks for running it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Michael.
you're welcome.
Yep, thank you.
Big thanks for creating such an engaging world and NPCs and arcs that we could play with and run with.
You're welcome.
So, applause to the GM.
Thanks.
Wait, I thought we call them a lore keeper here.
We
Why
do.
can't we keep our lingo consistent?
As the
My
lore keeper
lord.
forgot, and if the lore is forgotten, you'll go back to something else. With that,
Yes.
thanks all. Goodbye.
Don't forget to buy our merch now.
Merch,
Yeah.
like the shirt he's wearing.
Buy some t-shirts. They're cozy.
Welcome back now, you.
This is a different T-shirt, but it is merch.
I got a cozy t-shirt, but
Okay, bye.
everyone
everyone.
else has this
Bye.
one.
year may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more gifts giggles and shouts.